The fifth episode stands out from all the previous ones. It revealed more important details about the characters' personalities and backstories than any other episode before it. As we expected, Ragatha actively began to show her true character and feelings in the fifth episode. During a conversation at the bar, we learned the truth about Ragatha's backstory. Ragatha's mother was abusive, and Jax and Gangle were once her best friends. In this video, I'll tell you all the secrets of Ragatha's backstory. In fact, the fifth episode begins with us learning Jax's true opinion of Ragatha's behavior. All the main characters except Zubul returned through the portal from an unknown adventure that took place off-screen. All the characters were soaked to the skin with strange leaves or algae stuck to them. Obviously, this adventure was very tiring for the main characters. Apparently, they were underwater or in a rainforest. Ragatha, as usual, tries to cheer Pomni up and come to the conclusion that everything turned out well in the end. She says that it could have been worse, and that next time the adventure will definitely be better. At least not so wet. It is noticeable that Ragatha uttered these words with obvious doubt. She herself does not believe what she is saying. Pomni continued to lie on the floor and did not respond. Kinger asked Ragatha to help him count the eggs, and she left. At that moment, Jax passed by Pomni. He did not miss the opportunity to notice that Ragatha's eternally positive image was slowly beginning to fade.
Looks like that oh-so-positive Ragatha charm is starting to wear off, huh?
In the fourth episode, one of the most interesting moments was when Gangle expressed her sincere opinion about Ragatha to Pomni. She is a kind person and a good friend, but her eternal kindness is actually insincere. After a while, it becomes impossible to understand when Ragatha really means what she says. Now Jax accuses Ragatha of the same thing. We can say that Jax and Gangle are telling us that Ragatha constantly wears masks and pretends. Jax doesn't want Pomni to trust Ragatha, but why? We get the answer to these questions too. Let's skip a few adventures and move straight to stargazing. When Pomni and Jax were lying on the grass and looking at the starry sky, Jax got bored just relaxing. He decided to discuss Ragatha and Gangle with Pomni. Jax asked Pomni for her opinion on whether Gangle could ever be happy.
Do you think Gangle is actually capable of being happy?
What?
He notes that despite everything, Gangle's comedy mask continues to crumble. In the fifth episode, Gangle's comedy mask was literally not threatened by anything. It broke again because Kane started talking about adventures. According to Jax, Gangle cannot simply become happy, because she started actively communicating with Zubul. At this moment, Ragatha interrupts him. She says that Gangle's behavior is quite understandable. She avoids Jax and communicates with Zubul because she likes to spend time with those who do not constantly try to offend her. Jax unexpectedly replies that Gangle likes it when he is rude to her.
Maybe she just doesn't want to hang out with someone who's mean to her all the time.
She likes when I'm mean to her, though.
After that, Pomni begins to ask reasonable questions. Does Jax care about anyone's feelings at all? Jax was very surprised. He thought for a second and replied that he didn't care. I'm sure Jax lied here. Pomni asks another question. Does Jax have any real friends? Ragatha replies that they are no longer there. Jax immediately turns to her and shows that he is very offended. Ragatha tries to apologize and rushes to leave the conversation. Jax asks Pomni a question. Does Ragatha's behavior annoy her? Pomni tries to focus on Ragatha's main positive trait. She is kind to everyone. Jax replies that Ragatha tries too hard. I want to draw your attention to this phrase. If you think about it, Jax is saying that Ragatha isn't really kind to everyone. She tries very hard to play this role because she doesn't want to be an outcast, all alone in the scary world of the digital circus. Jax explains that objectively, none of them are in a good situation, and they don't need to pretend that everything is fine. He correctly points out that when something is repeated constantly and in unlimited quantities, it loses its value. In this case, Ragatha's constant kindness ceases to matter and loses its value. Jax is absolutely right. Ragatha's inexhaustible kindness becomes ostentatious, insincere. This alarms both Gangle and Jax and Ragatha. He tells Pomni that, in his opinion, Ragatha is trying to constantly appear kind to Pomni because she wants to take advantage of her. I partially agree with Jax on this point. It may seem that Pomni is needed by Ragatha for some reason. If this were happening in the real world, Pomni would most likely have something that Ragatha really wants for herself. But in the digital circus, nothing is real. Things do not play a role. Only the relationships between the characters have real meaning. In a sense, Pomni really needs Ragatha as a friend and support, as someone who could always be there for her. Perhaps Ragatha doesn't realize it, but I think that's what she wants from Pomni. Let's try to understand what happened between Ragatha, Gangle, and Jax. I believe that these three used to be close friends who constantly communicated with each other. Perhaps their personalities were a little different back then. Ragatha was more open and showed her true feelings. Gangle was more confident and cheerful, and Jax was a more sensitive and empathetic friend. But then something happened that divided Jax's life into before and after. His best friend in the digital circus, a frog character named Ribbit, became abstracted. Jax began to panic about abstraction, and he became apathetic. Because of this, he distanced himself from Gangle and Ragatha. He wanted to distract himself from his dark thoughts, and then he wanted to get closer to them again. As a result, he began to hurt Gangle and behave rudely towards her.
Yeah, constantly tormenting Gangle's really funny, Jax.
You guys all take this place way too seriously.
From a psychological point of view, Jax is trying to get her attention. In the 5th episode, Jax made it clear that he does care about other people's feelings and wants to be friends with the other characters, but he just can't manage to build healthy relationships with people. As a result of his bullying, Gangle became depressed and withdrawn, while Ragatha tried to pretend that everything was fine until the very end. Thanks to this, Jax and Gangle realized that her kindness was fake and that she was hiding her true opinion from them. They stopped trusting her. In response, Ragatha distanced herself from Gangle and began to quarrel with Jax. Gangle withdrew into herself for a long time, but as a result, she was able to establish communication first with Kaufmo and then with Zubul. Jax satisfied his need for communication with his rude jokes about Gangle and Zubul. Only Ragatha remained lonely, so she needed Pomni. However, Ragatha is not the only one interested in making Pomni her close friend. Ragatha and Jax both saw Pomni's appearance at the digital circus as an excellent opportunity to make a new best friend. Ragatha tries to constantly be around Pomni, supporting and reassuring her. Pomni was happy to talk to her, but in the 2nd episode, she began to feel that Ragatha's behavior was insincere.
Okay, let's, calm down a bit.
What? You're the one who said it's fine to be a jerk sometimes!
Jax chose a completely opposite tactic. He doesn't hurt Pomni like Gangle or Zubul. He tries to be as honest with her as possible. In the bar location, we can clearly see the tension that has arisen between Ragatha and Jax. Ragatha realizes that they are both competing for Pomni's attention, but what's worse for Ragatha is that Jax's strategy is more effective than hers. He wins. Ragatha tries to get Pomni's attention. She recalls how the abstract Kaufmo attacked her.
Pomni, remember when Kaufmo smashed me against the walls and I got all jumbled up? All things considered, that was pretty funny, right?
It is noteworthy that Ragatha calls it something funny. Pomni rightly points out that there was nothing funny about it. Ragatha immediately admits that it was a traumatic incident and apologizes. She again shows how insincere she is. But Ragatha's problem is much deeper than a simple lack of interest in communication. She simply doesn't know how to be any other way. At the bar, Ragatha tells the other characters about her past. As we thought, Ragatha really did grow up in a village. She was born into a wealthy family, which is why her mother set extremely high standards for her from childhood. She forced Ragatha to work herself to exhaustion and achieve success in everything. But at the same time, her mother devalued her efforts and feelings. This is where the main problem lies. Ragatha's mother taught her not to pay attention to her true feelings. You could say that she forbade Ragatha from showing negative emotions. This led to Ragatha no longer being able to be honest. When she starts saying what she thinks, it always turns into a conflict. Ragatha will definitely need to work on this in the next episodes. What do you think about this? Why did Ragatha, Jax, and Gangle stop being friends? Will Ragatha be able to be honest? Will Pomni stay with Ragatha or choose Jax? Write your thoughts and theories in the comments, and I will definitely read them. Remember that the best comments will be featured in new videos. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Good luck, everyone, and bye-bye.